All right, so this is a video that I've made probably 3 or 4 times minimum over the last 12 months, and I've deleted it every single time. Either right away when I finished recording, I just deleted it, or when I got into the edit, I deleted it. But either way, this video has never seen the light of day, even after multiple attempts. Hopefully, after this attempt, I finally am able to put it out. But it's something I've been wanting to talk about in a video I've been wanting to make for a while. It's really easy to be vulnerable, by the way, when you're alone or when nobody is watching. When I first started YouTube, these vulnerable or semi-vulnerable videos were really easy to make. I was making them alone. There was no audience. But when you start to gain an audience and that audience is judging you, and judgments are important because if they like you, they're going to watch another video, and if they don't, then they're not going to watch another video. Or when people in your personal life are watching you professionally, which for me is now YouTube, it's weird. It just does really, really weird things to your psyche, even though it shouldn't. We should always be the same person no matter what, but it's tough, right? I mean, I bet you're probably a little different with your grandma than you are your boss, and you're probably different with your best friend than you are with someone you're going on a date with, you know? The weird thing is that eventually YouTube will make it so you're the same person with everybody. That's just the beauty of being everywhere on the internet, is that there's no hiding. You're just out there. Anyway, have you noticed that like a lot of YouTubers are quitting lately? Like a lot of big marquee YouTubers are quitting, and they're quitting on top. Like they're not riding the wave to irrelevance, and they're finally washing up on shore. They're like, oh, I'm quitting. Like, no, these are channels that have 5 million, 6 million. I think one had like 16 million. And they're walking away on top. And I would never understand it if I wasn't on the other side of the camera. For me, I think my YouTube journey is still relatively embryonic compared to theirs. You know, I'm only going on not even year 3, I think, when I've been really focusing on it, but it's not what I expected. It just isn't. And I don't want to like reveal too much. I don't want to like pull back the veil too much where I don't want to ruin it all for you, because you're not tuned in for that. You're tuned in for adventure, travel, info, and fun. And then I'm probably number 5 or even number 6 on that list. You're not tuning in for James Williams, at least number 1. But I am the guy behind the camera and the guy in front of you, so you should know what's going on with the channel. YouTube is by far like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I've done a lot, at least, you know, academically and professionally. I've had some accomplishments, some decent accomplishments, but it's by far the hardest thing I've ever done. Some people don't like to hear that. Some people think it's super easy and you're super lucky, and to me it's all choice. Like, I choose to turn on the camera, I choose to put my time, to invest time into this, and I can choose to turn it off and go in a different direction whenever I want. To me, it's all choice. It's like you have the choice to tune in or not to tune in. But to me, it's really hard. It's so hard. There are some people who have the unique, uncanny ability to turn on a camera and catch lightning in a bottle every time. They don't even have to try. But in my experience, those people are extremely rare, and they're like the same caliber of person who can walk onto an NFL field without practicing for a week or 2 or for a long time, or maybe they're out partying the night before and can have like a record game. Like, there are just those freak people out there, and I am not one of them when it comes to YouTube. I really, really have to try. And, you know, I've done it all on my own volition. I'm not complaining about it, but like when you start to make YouTube your life, it takes some of the fun out of what you're doing. And I think when you make something your job, it takes some of the fun out of it no matter what. I think if I was a race car builder and it was my job, all of a sudden, yeah, it would take away some of the fun. Or if I was a professional athlete, I think going to the gym would have a different connotation to it. So I think that's just human nature. So I was just thinking the other night, and I was just kind of doing some self-reflection. I was just going through some chapters of my life, and I remember my first couple years on YouTube and how like effervescent, happy-go-lucky I was. And I started digging into that. And I was like, well, why was that? Was it because it was just a new adventure? Was it because I had less stress? Was I in a different point of my life mentally? And I really think it's because it wasn't a job. It wasn't my profession. And as I have made my videos more packaged and more produced and more professional, I think like the happiness and just the overall effervescence of myself and my personality, they have waned a little bit. So I did some digging into my videos and took a look at my most successful videos. And I was really shocked because they weren't the videos where I had the best camera, not even close. They weren't the videos with the best sound, the best editing, the best music, or the best plan of attack. They really had none of those. But they all had one thing in common, and that was me in a new place, discovering something awesome, having the best time ever, and then relaying those experiences to you. So I started thinking, well, how do I get back to that? And the answer is you can't per se, right? Like those are lightning in a bottle moments that you just can't create synthetically or whenever you want. Like those organic moments just happen. If I were trying to recreate those, I would be fake. I would be one of those, what I call blue sky travel people, you know, where every flight, every meal, every hotel, every day is awesome. And if you're a legit travel person, you know that just simply isn't the case. There are bad hotels, bad meals, bad days, bad flights, even bad months or bad years of travel. That's just the way it is. That's the way life is. So I made a decision a long time ago. It was a very easy one. I'm never going to be one of those blue sky travel people where everything is awesome. And that's probably a reason why you watch the channel, is because of my extreme honesty or authenticity. But if I'm going to be extremely authentic, and those lightning in a bottle moments are by definition rare, how do I get more of those? And the only way to get more of those is to put myself in situations where I can find more of them. So that's really what I want to do this year. I've noticed as my videos become more packaged, more professional, more produced, that I haven't been having the most fun. And if I'm not having the most fun, you can't be having the most fun. It just isn't possible. So the only way for me to create more of those awesome adventures organically is just to be in more places. And I think the only way for me to really fall back in love, to truly fall in love with travel and YouTube again, is to just fully embrace it. And if I do this, and by the end of the year I'm not fully in love, then I have to look at that problem and address it in a different way or completely. Anyway, this year I'm going to visit 40 different hotels. Usually I do 20 to 26. This year I'm going to do 40. It might not seem like a lot, but remember I stay at every hotel for 3, 4, or 5 nights. I mean, it's an actual vacation. So really, I'm doing 40 different vacations. I'm not even sure if that's possible logistically or time-wise, but I need an extreme goal to kind of revitalize or to re-energize me. And I also want to go to some new places, like brand new places. I was supposed to do it last year, but last year just didn't align the way I wanted it to. I had some things happen to me personally, which were completely unexpected, and it just kind of threw off the entire year for me. But this year, no matter what, I'm going to some new places. It starts with where I'm at right now, which I'll get to probably in my next video. But you know, Costa Rica, Jamaica, a few other places as well. We're certainly going to get there. It doesn't mean I'm going to do completely all new places, because a lot of you are here based off a place I've already been. And if I completely abandon that and just focus on all new places, that's not necessarily the fairest social contract. So I want to blend some of the best of the old with some of the best of the new, and in the next 365 days do 40 different experiences. And I think that's the way I really am going to fall back in love with with this whole travel YouTube thing. So this is a video that you probably were not expecting. It's a video I don't make too often anymore. You can see why, but it's a video that I have to put out. So at the very least, hopefully this explains where I've been last year, or at least where I'm going this year. And if you see a video in a new location, or if it's content that you never really quite expected, this video hopefully explains it. I'm trying to fall back in love with the whole YouTube travel thing.